promise we're gonna talk a little bit about gaining the hooks, because during the roll, sometimes you'll gain the hooks, sometimes you won't, right? Like we are in a situation where right now, Rory's got pretty good knee elbow connection. So if I just kind of like roll over him and get to here, he's still got really good knee elbow connection. You can see like he's able to fence my leg away. And so if you ever end up in a situation where you are, you know, on your side, on your hips, on your shoulders, and don't try to do this Gumby shit and get your hooks. It's just not likely to work. What we're going to do anytime we land like this is move away into base. We walk our hips away, getting to our knees, keeping tight pressure on the claw ride, and we should be able to sit our partner up. So we're gonna, let's rotate that. Regardless of which side you're on, as long as you retain these two grips, it's gonna be really difficult for them to build base. You have good chest to back connection, and you should be able to walk your hips away. So like, you know, if we ended up on this side, and all I need to do is that. If Rory puts his elbow out into base, that helps me. So it's not a big deal if it happens. I still wanna do it. Now that we're here, there are two options that we're gonna utilize. We might sit ourselves behind them, and when we do, let's just rotate a little bit more. You'll notice that my chest is close to his back, but my hips are not. If my hips are super close, make knee elbow connection, it becomes this leg dexterity flexibility game again. As I move my hips back, it's much easier for me to place my heel. All right, so anytime we're trying to get this articulation, we want hip distance, but chest to back connection. In the gi, this is a lot easier because if the claw ride starts to slip, you can just grab onto the collar. In no-gi, I know we said we weren't gonna use this, but you can come to the near shoulder here and use what some people refer to as a half claw. I've not heard this term. Anyway, heel comes in, pushes, stretches, other heel comes in. So we can do that to gain the hooks, or in the same position where somebody's really committing to this kind of stuff, we can just step over. And now our partner has overcommitted. Like, you notice how Rory pulled his arm out?
Yeah, see,
because if his arm stayed in there, it was bad news. So he'll pull the arm out. I've now gained the hook, and I can start to gain. Let me get to the other side. There we go. Now I can get to here. Same thing, he's making good knee elbow connection, but I should be able to get my heel into that spot above his thigh and stretch him out by pulling on the motorcycle.
And you can count on anyone decent really going hard on shutting down the hooks, because Rob has two underhooks essentially, so I'm not at immediate risk of getting choked. So I know that I can reach a little bit more to block at the legs, and Rob can't just switch to a rear naked choke. He doesn't have the ability to create that dilemma.
Yeah. But having said that, anytime you find yourself here, when somebody is overdoing the hooks defense, pay attention to my left arm.
Oh yeah.
So as much as we want to talk about how we gain the hooks, if somebody's just being super defensive here, we just go across and take the rear naked choke with the motorcycle gripping arm. If we release this arm, oh yeah, just too much control is gone. But if we're on the claw ride, we can release here.
Have pretty good control with just one arm.
Exactly, because I'm on the opposite shoulder somewhat and the neck, I've got way better rotational control, and I can actually attack the rear naked choke. So know that if somebody's just being ridiculously obnoxious with this, despite your best efforts to put your hooks in, you should be able to just hit them with the choke.